yourstory.com. I'm Debolina, and today we have with us Sunny Nandwani. He's the founder and managing director at Acuver Consulting. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Debolina.
So, Acuver is a global supply chain management solutions company based out of Bangalore, and they've recently also started their office in Singapore. So, Sunny, why don't you tell us a little bit about what does your company does?
Sure, thank you. So we specialize in supply chain solution. So supply chain side, we started with IT services. Supply chain will have like, first of all, the planning, then make, source, deliver. So we have been doing supply chain execution, make, source, deliver part.
Okay.
And now we have also launched our product, which is SaaS-based solution, which addresses supply chain visibility across all the levels. So if I talk about, like, I come from a typical Delhi business family. All my father, grandfather, everyone has been in business, trading community like Chandni Chowk, Sadar Bazaar. We are like, and from my childhood, so family gatherings were mostly discussions around like day to day, how do you manage cash flow, how do you handle customers and all. So somehow in my subconscious mind, I had got that.
So it's a typical business family.
Yeah, and then but I was the odd one out. I was
Okay.
one of the very studious guy, ideal student of school, colleges and all. So I decided to pursue my engineering.
Absolutely. Sunny is also an alumnus of IIM Bangalore.
Yeah, I have done my course from there.
So what made you start up? Like, why did you suddenly end up starting up a business?
Yeah, so see, for me, it was not a eureka moment. In fact, it was iterative development. So, other two co-founders, Satyajit Jaina and Mayank Gupta, I had worked with them in the previous organization. So, when I started my corporate life, I started with Infosys, where I got good training. Like, I admire Infosys for doing that foundation. And then I worked across different geographies globally, where I was working on the supply chain side.
Okay.
And I was very hardworking, flexible, going to any project location, making sure we deliver and all that. So then myself and Satyajit, we decided that okay, let's start. We were talking about the routine supply chain challenges. So we thought, okay, let's start in that area. And first thing we decided, it cannot be part-time. It has to be full-time.
Absolutely.
And Satyajit is a very strong technocrat, he joined. And then Mayank Gupta also joined after a few months. And it has evolved then. So getting first customer was a challenge, but now I think we've
So how did you get that first customer exactly?
Yeah, so what happened, like, since we had worked with global companies, we have been involved there where we were working with global retailer. First of all, we tried reaching out to them, but since we were a new company, it was difficult to get that first break. So we tried to pitch in with we partnered with one more company where we were doing the major of solutioning part.
Okay.
And we then pitched in to the customer and they really admired her, and then it grew, but it was one of the big ones.
So, as we know that the supply chain and logistics industry in India is a whooping $215 billion industry, but in India it still remains highly unorganized. So, how do you see the supply chain industry evolving with the use of technology in India?
Sure. So what happens in India, like we had two kinds of industry. One is like the new age startups, which are already like on the latest technology. One is like offline presence, which are building their now online and getting into the omni channel.
Right.
So, and supply chain is dependent on three network pillars: people, process, technology, right? If I talk about people, they should have the information to take the conscious decision. So you need, and this information, more real time you get, you'll be able to take better predictive decisions and all. Process side, so you have the offline process which have been going on. So they need to be adapted to it. And when you adapt to the new technology, you have to make sure that they are profitable.
Right.
Because most of the retailers, they would want to minimize the cost. So anyone who builds that combination of people, process, technology, where to focus on, they will be able to achieve the right competitive advantage. But in India also, a lot of them have got into omni-channel, and now they are more on the eye of becoming profitable. It's evolving.
And also with the oncoming of e-commerce and e-commerce becoming such a huge thing, the supply chain and warehouse inventory management has drastically changed, right? So how does Acuver helps its clients globally and in India with that?
Sure. So when we talk about supply chain, First of all, like let's say even if you have a digital presence, you will have a online channel, then you will have multiple channel now because
Right.
you have store, kiosk, other partner network, you will tie up with marketplaces and all that. So you get that order journey. And then once you get that order journey, you have to make sure that you do the right orchestration and fulfillment, which is cost optimized. So we help with them so that they get a better visibility.
Okay.
So till now we have been doing so. First, in fact, 4 years we were purely focused on services side. Now we have built a SaaS-based product, which is to address that visibility. So it gives to the customer a real-time information, because generally what happens, you have historical data which you cover in analytics, but through this you are covering the more real-time information, because supply chain needs, any supply chain should be responsive. So that is where we are coming in. We are giving them a visualization of all data. Then you need to, once you get the data, you need to amplify.
Right.
Like how do you use in your manual decision or this, and once you get it, we are working on a AI part, pattern recognition, ML, and then bring the predictability.
Also, Sunny, we have heard that you work with a lot of Fortune 500 companies. So, if you could tell our viewers, like, give us a case study of how are you actually using your solutions to help them.
Yeah, so we are helping them on the order management and warehouse management side.
Okay.
Because for any digital now, let's say on the any channel, it may be that you have an online channel, and then there may be a limited stock. And now with multi-channel, there may be a store user who has come in. He would also want to have that omni-channel view. So anybody who has bought online can return at store or vice versa. So we
Right.
help with them with that.
Okay.
We help them with the inventory visibility as close to real time, and complete that whole journey of supply chain execution.
So, you're also helping with analytics and insight services to other organizations.
Yes. So
Could you tell us a little bit about on that?
definitely. So through our product, we have these three views. One is the application view,
Right.
which is for the day-to-day operations team, because now supply chain has heterogeneous application. So when you have that heterogeneous application, you want, like, there should be proper technical flow going in. There may be like, I had a peak season, so my orders are getting piled up, but are my other system responding well enough? So that is one part which takes care of the technical. Then business view, like let's say I had maybe I had tied up with the marketplace, and due to $1 billion day and all, you get a pile up of order. So you may need more resources in terms of labor, staffing, packaging, that you might need at the warehouse, more picker packer. So it will give you a view so that you can plan it. Rather than reactive approach, it's a proactive approach.
Right.
So that is what we are working on.
And how are you exactly implementing your products? Is it a hybrid model? Like, are you using Oracle for your order management?
No, not Oracle. Our product is, we have built on our own, which gives that view. On services, we have tied up with some partner,
Okay.
where we help customer like choose based on the fitment which of those solutions will fit in. So as part of it, we are tied up with IBM and other partners.
Okay. And have you dabbled with building your own product?
Yes. So in fact, product building was always something we wanted to do. We started with services. So we have been had a year-on-year double-digit growth, and now we are using services side revenue to sponsor the product. In last 2 years, we have invested in that product team. We have got good capable leaders. We are doing market research, and on product side, you need to adapt to what are the market trends happening. It's not like you can just identify a problem statement and go big bang.
Right.
So we are working on it.
And talking about a larger perspective, like, how has the IT industry evolved? The IT solutions industry in India has evolved.
Yeah, so see, IT definitely is one of the growing area, and it will continue. And the way technology is evolving, so one thing you need to make sure that skill gap, you need to reskill and upskill, because domain and technology both are like competing with each other. You may go for omni-channel,
Right.
then technology and process has to go. So to fill up that reskill and upskill, we do a lot of training initiatives in our employee, and recently we did a gamification of training. We divided the whole organization in fact into teams and ran it like a premier league. So it was good, where we got some external speaker, internal training. So it helped us where we could raise the bar of the whole skill. So that is how we have been bridging. That is one of the, I think, IT part which is there. If I talk about retail or supply chain challenges, sometimes what happens, everyone is now capturing the data. So you have abundant data, because data is the new game. But are we generating sufficient insights from it? So that is also a challenge which needs to be brought in.
And this is a question for all the entrepreneurs in the making or people who want to be where you are today. So, why don't you give us a little insight about leadership? Like, how do you set up the company? How do you scale it?
Yeah. So see, we started with a 3 founding member team, and today we are close to 100 people. We are servicing customers globally. We have office in Singapore. So I think it needs a lot of dedication. My personal view is you cannot do part time. You have to get it full time, and then once you get it, be persistent and you look for trends what are happening. It's not like today I decided okay we will become maybe a leader in supply chain. It is a step by step journey. We should break it down into months and all that,
Right.
and go for like I'm a firm believer you should be focused on your ROI and EBITDA as well. You should be thinking about the profitability.
Okay. And your advice to young entrepreneurs who are just starting up are planning to start up?
Yeah, so today's generation, and in fact, I think much open, they have good ideas. Go for your ideas, try it out. But if it doesn't work out, switch your idea. Because sometimes we get too much obsessed with one idea. We do not realize like maybe there is already a competition which is there. So
But don't you feel that starting up is just like a lifestyle change that you're opting for?
yeah, it's a mix. Like you should be passionate about whatever you are doing. Yes, like you would have challenges. We had in fact major challenges in the first year when we were not getting customer. When we got customer, we could not get talent. So it is a mix of it. So it is like how you pitch it and be transparent either with your client or to your internal employee. The way we work at Acuver, even before someone is joining, during recruitment, once we are done with technical round and we hire like really smart guys, top colleges, engineering and other graduates, so we do a attitude round which is more like to understand each other. It is not one way that we just tell them about the role. We also ask them, are you excited about the role? So transparency starts from there.
Right.
And then once they come in, so we have one of the executive team member who always works with that team. So be transparent. Same way on customer, give them bad news before they hear it from anyone. So we believe that transparency is the key. So I would advise them like be transparent in whatever you do.
So, talking about challenges, you mentioned that in the first 1 year you had to face a few challenges, and we all know starting up just comes with challenges. So, what has been your challenges and how did you deal with them?
Yeah, so challenges have been throughout. In fact, even now, like we have just moved to a new office. So we
Right.
started from maybe a 1 BHK, but now we have a proper office in Bangalore and Singapore. So challenges would come, and initially first year, as I told, we were struggling to get customer base, and we got in fact good customers in the second year. But then we were doing interviews in our coffee shops and all that. So it is not easy to attract the talent, but we had our own learning journey where you have to it's like you have to mutually respect everyone. Today's we have a very flat hierarchy. In fact, there is no hierarchy. We should have all those discussions. It should be implemented in a startup. It expect those things.
And why did you exactly start in Singapore? Like, what was the main idea behind it?
Yeah, so see, we started in India, and in fact, in India, we are working with good amount of retailers, and in India market, we have presence. Then we decided to enter the Asian market. In Asian market to capture, we needed so we started with a sales team. So we invested in Singapore, and based on our market research, supply chain and logistics is looking for those kind of solutions in that area. We read some insight reports and all, and we work on a business plan. So it becomes the hub for that market.
Okay. So, what are your next plans? Where is Acuver going next?
As I told, it is incremental. So we are now more focusing on our first product expansion. We are trying to build more AI, ML, pattern recognition capability in that. On services side, we are diversifying. We have supply chain. We were focused still not on the make part. We are focused on delivery and return. We are focusing on manufacturing and all. So we are tying up with more partners in that area. So this is the technology expansion. Then geographically, we want to even enter the US market. So we have plans on it.
By when can we expect you in the USA?
Yeah, we have already have customers, but we would like to have a proper dedicated office sometime this year.
And any plans on raising funds?
So since we were a service organization, we were bootstrapped and we were doing well. We had not thought about those options, but we have been approached by a few investors,
Okay.
and that is in consideration. So
Okay, so investors watching, you know where to go. And yeah, last question, Sunny, what are the current books that you're reading and any kind of book that you would like to suggest our viewers or young entrepreneurs to read?
Yeah, so I like reading. In fact, I was reading about N. Sridharan now. Just yesterday, I was reading about him, the Metro Man, who has helped. And so, see, he has made successful projects when odds were against him, because generally the perception is it is not easy to go through the government proceedings and all that. But the way he addressed the challenges he took, right from Konkan Railway project to Delhi Metro, Kolkata Metro, is admiration. So I would say, like, plan and inspiration for you, which should keep you going, and only way you can succeed is being positive. Like, there will be challenges, it's up to you how you see it. Like, and maybe, like, my mother has played a big role in that. She always motivates me to think positive, so that is.
We have a question for you on from the audience.
Sure.
They're asking what are the core values of Acuver?
Yeah. So one is transparency. Once you take the transparency, the trust factors builds in, because we have, like, some of the very exciting talent in Acuver from prominent colleges, right? And we have got people who have spent with us from year one. So we trust them, we empower them to take decisions. Mistakes will happen, but we have to there. So it's transparency and care, and it's more collaboration with both customer and internal. Sometimes we get too much focus on the customer, we ignore the internal stakeholder. We take them along. In fact, we do monthly session with our leadership team.
Okay.
And when I say leadership, these include our senior architects as well. We keep them updated what is happening at a company level and all. And I think it is good to get their insight, because with this new blood coming in, they have a good perspective of things.
So transparency throughout the organization.
Yes, and care.
Okay. So if you have any more questions, you can drop them down in the comment box, and Sunny would definitely answer them. And yeah, thank you so much for coming to our office and having this discussion, Sunny. Thank you, and keep watching your story.
My pleasure. Thank you.